Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Since it's Christmas,
Sure hope we didn't f that one up.
I think it's the perfect time to do a review on Winterwishday. Personally, I think the show wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, because of the obvious problems it has. But it still was fun and I did enjoy it. Like, I did enjoy it far more than most of the MLP stuff we got this year. Except like Portrait Day, but that's not much of a competition cause it's pretty much the best written episode. Still, it did improve a bit from the show, but still there are quite a few issues I noticed even in my first watch. And I keep noticing new ones while making this video. But okay, let's talk bit by bit. For animation, it has obviously improved a lot, from texture and expressions. But there were quite a few obvious animation errors. Like that one with Zip's glasses, that was really obvious. Another thing that I really love in this special that many can agree on is we finally get to see more locations than Maritime Bay. Like we finally get to see more of Biblewood and its characters, like Alphabiddle. And another character who you probably already know who I am talking about, Onyx. Which, by the way, yes, that's the actual name of the beatnik pony now. And I did like their interactions with Izzy, which probably is one of my favorite parts of this special. I also find the interactions very interesting between Izzy, Alphabiddle and Onyx. Don't know how to properly describe this, but it feels like Izzy has a closer relationship to Alphabiddle and Onyx than to other unicorns. Like every time they talk to each other or interact, it's like they know each other pretty well or even care for each other more than anyone else. Like it's also kinda seen in the YouTube episodes, like that one where Izzy brought Jazz to the Crystal Tea Room. She introduced her to Onyx to show her the creativity to do your own thing. Like it seems like she knows Onyx pretty well, and their interactions seems like they are pretty close. Same with Alphabiddle. Like I really want to know more about their history and relationship before Magic came back. Like it feels like they were the closest thing to friends or even family to Izzy before she met her friends. So yeah, really want to know more about their relationship since I think this is one of the most interesting things about this special. Maybe I'm gonna do a separate video about these three in the future. Anyways, for other characters and such, we finally got to see Grandma Figgy, and I think she was an okay character. Nothing much interesting about her besides learning she was friends with Argyle. Also, other YouTubers said in their videos that they thought that when we arrive to Grandma Figgy, Hitch is gonna have a small arc there. Which yeah, I also thought about the same thing. Which just makes it all more weird that Hitch didn't learn anything after that. Which is also one of my main criticisms about the special, which is the story. But we will get there in a moment. To a few more positive things, I really like the humor in this special. It is pretty funny sometimes. And another thing that I kinda like is that they finally added some more lore, where we finally learn that it hasn't snowed for centuries in Equestria. And over time we noticed that the snowing gets worse. And at first I was thinking like, heavy snow blizzards? Winter holiday? Wendigos? Well, spoilers, sadly no. There was a different reason behind it. But before that, I want to talk about my own idea with the Wendigos. So, what I thought the writers tried to do here is, the blizzards are supposed to show signs of the Wendigos returning, but things have changed. I was thinking like maybe something or someone made the Wendigos somewhat good and gave them full responsibility over the winters, since the Pegasi can't fly anymore. And who knows, maybe they reincarnated into the winter clouds to control the winters but not as everlasting. So, I know many people will think this won't make any sense, and I do agree. But hey, it doesn't have to make sense all the time, but it can at least be more interesting enough. Personally, I like this idea more than what we got, but still I think what we ended up with wasn't bad. I was maybe a little bit disappointed they didn't add the Wendigos, since not only are they one of the most important figures of MLP's winter holidays, but also MLP's entire history. I'm okay if they want to do new things, but with this, that was kinda a missed opportunity there. Anyways, what we got is, we found out that the unicorns have been doing spells the whole time, by saying a phrase that the unicorns used to say to bring back winter each year. But when magic disappeared, unicorns are just using it traditionally, without realizing they are doing magic. I actually kinda like that idea. It tells us much more about the lore of G5, in a sorta creative way, but sadly this idea does bring a lot of problems. Not only from G4's continuity, but also from G5 itself, from how they solve the problem. Like y'all already know, in G4 it's actually the Pegasi who control the weather, including winter. And since this is not only canon to G4, but also said they were doing this before magic disappeared, this does retcon a big part of G4's lore and story. And also, if you haven't noticed in G4, unicorns never created spells by saying a phrase. I mean, sure, they can create spells by reading one, but not by saying a phrase. Which brings up the next issue, not only for G4 but also G5, and that is how they solved it. So Izzy made up an entirely new phrase, the unicorns say that phrase, and it works?
Did you? How? When? What?
Like, how does this work? Like, can now every unicorn just do a spell by just saying something, either from their will or against them? Which brings up the main criticism for this special, which is the writing. A lot of people already said how over the place the writing is, so better watch their videos so I don't have to repeat anything which is already been said. One thing that really bothers me about the story is how many conveniences happen. Like, every time when you think there's gonna be a conflict or a consequence, it just solves itself a moment later. It's like watching the two last Jurassic World movies. It wants you think something is gonna happen, but no, it doesn't. Like, it never does. Also, it's very noticeable when things are just happening, even though they have no connection with the actual story. As for the songs, they're pretty okay, I guess. Some even feel really lazy. Like that one with Zip and Pip's performance, which is supposedly a full song about winterwishday's history. But yeah, that song was pretty Okay, it kinda feels like this review is getting kinda negative, and believe me, I still enjoyed this special, probably even more than the rest of Make Your Mark. It's just that the problems in this special are much more visible to me when watching it the first time. Overall, I think the special isn't bad, but wasn't that good either. In my full honesty, I would just rather watch all the winter-related episodes of G4. Which is kinda sad to think about. Like, it had hope, it had potential, but ended up being alright in my opinion. Sure, it was fun and it had funny humor, and there may be some lore stuff as well. But there are a lot of things missing in the writing, and there are a lot of missed opportunities, which I think would make the special more interesting. At least it kinda fixed the Make Your Mark series, but not that much if you think about it. I know it's a bit weird that I was a bit more positive at the beginning of this video, but it's just because the more I talk and think about this special, the more I see problems and issues in it. So in conclusion, if I would recommend it to you or not, I think it's fine watching it. Like, if you want a special with funny humor and doesn't care much about the plot, and want to see more of the other locations besides Maritime Bay, and get to see more of the characters you really wanted to see again, this might be the special for you. But honestly, just watch these specials than this one, personally. So that's it for the video. I would like to hear your opinions in the comments down below, and see y'all next time. And I wish y'all a happy heart swarming.